guys, it's been a very long time. In fact, a very, very long time since I published a Flightsim video on this channel. In fact, the last video published on Sunday, the 25th of December 2022. So that being Christmas Day, 3 years and 5 months ago at the time of producing this new video for the channel. And yes guys, I'm still enjoying PC flight simulation very much. It's still my main hobby. However, an awful lot has changed in the flight simulation community. In fact, a lot has changed in the flight simulation world. Back on Christmas Day 2022, I published this flight on board a Comlux Aruba Boeing 787-8 in an attempt to recreate one of the world's longest flights at the time, departing Seoul Incheon Airport in South Korea, flying through the night and then the entire next day in a flight lasting just over 20 hours between Seoul and Buenos Aires, the capital of Argentina. And back then, my flight sim world revolved around Prepared 3D version 4.5, while my friend and co-channel host, the Real Airbus Pilot, flew in X-Plane 11. And of course, this particular long-haul flight was flown using the Quality Wings 787. And to this date, there has never been a 787 in flight sim, or certainly PC flight sim, to rival the Quality Wings. So as I approach Buenos Aires for a nighttime landing at Tropical Sim's Zize International Airport, I'm going to jump forward nearly 3.5 years to the 31st of May 2026, where I'm going to attempt a new way of recording my flight simulator adventure and bringing you up to speed at the same time on my flight sim journey. From here in Lockheed Martin Prepared 3D version 4.5 to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. And I'll also bring you up to speed on what the Real Airbus Pilot is up to these days. Well, what I can tell you, of course. So I'm going to do this via a short 30-minute flight from my current home airport, which is of course Glasgow, to my old home airport, which is of course Belfast International. And I'm going to do it on board the fantastic Fenix Airbus A320 in FS 2024. Welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 and welcome to Pyreegue Dev Co's Glasgow International Airport EGPF for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Yes guys, this scenery was never ported properly to 2024, but it works perfectly as you can see here. Well, when I say perfectly, there are a few quirks, but it does work. The passengers boarding the aircraft are of course provided by GSX. I'm currently on version 4.02. It upgraded to version 4.0 just over a week ago at the time of recording this episode, and then very quickly it went to 4.01, and only yesterday it went to 4.02. The traffic injection is being provided by SayIntentions AI, and I'll get into that a little bit later on in the episode. But as I explained earlier, this episode is about my journey in flight sim over the last 3.5 years since the last episode was published on Christmas Day 2022. Okay, jumping back into the flight deck, the aircraft seems to have been loaded successfully by GSX. I've already programmed the McDo for this short flight from Glasgow across to Belfast. Time now to get rid of the stairs, again provided by GSX. And then it's time to set the takeoff performance data in the EFB.
Hit the ground, can you connect the tug, please? Glasgow ground, good morning, Easy 187 Quebec, looking to pick up my IFR clearance to Belfast Undergrove.
Easy 187 Quebec, cleared to Aldergrove via the Norbo 1 Hotel departure runway 23, initial climb 6000, squawk 6714.
Okay, cleared to Aldergrove via the Norbo 1 Hotel departure runway 23, initial climb to 6,000 feet and squawk 6714, Easy 187 Quebec. I've set up quite a lot of assistance on SayIntentions AI, so the squawk code is already programmed.
Easy 187 Quebec, read back correct.
I have configured Say Intention to provide me with quite a lot of assistance, including setting up the next radio frequency when prompted by ATC. Right, time to push and start and head towards runway 23 here at Glasgow.
Cockpit to ground, can you start push face north, please?
Ground to flight deck, tug standing by. Release parking brake, start pushback facing north.
Parking brake is released.
Good afternoon and welcome aboard EasyJet, United Kingdom, Flight 187QA. Departing from Glasgow International Airport and bound for Belfast International Airport. On behalf of myself, Erica McCormick, and
Roger,
my
stand
colleagues,
by.
thank you for choosing to fly with us
Bypass pin
today.
inserted. Just let me know when you're ready to
Please take your
start to
seats
push
as
back.
indicated on your boarding passes and stow your hand luggage
Go ahead and start push face north.
or under the seat in front of you. Should you require any assistance, do not hesitate to ask any member of our cabin
Flight
crew.
deck, starting pushback
We
facing north.
appreciate your cooperation and look forward to a smooth journey together.
The cabin announcements are also provided by Say Intentions. You can of course download an authentic cabin announcement pack for the Fenix for a lot of airlines, including EasyJet, but I quite like the Say Intentions version.
Ground to flight deck, cleared for engine start in sequence.
Starting number 2, then starting number 1.
One of the other big changes that I made to my Flightsim setup since we last spoke 3.5 years ago, I have added the Thrustmaster TCA Captain's Pack, which provides a more authentic Airbus side stick and of course the throttle quadrant, providing cost-effective, I suppose, nearly authentic engine control switches.
Ground to flight deck, pushback complete. Please ensure parking brakes are set. Standing by for confirmation of good engine start and report when ready for disconnect.
Thank you very much. I have a good engine start. You can go ahead and disconnect, please.
Alright, we're disconnecting now. Stand by.
Tomjet 742, push and start at your discretion.
Ground to flight deck, bypass pin removed. We've disconnected and crew is clear. You're good to go. Have a great flight. See you soon.
Thank you very much for all your help.
You're welcome. Safe flight.
Right, time to switch back to COM 1 and talk to the ground controller for taxi.
Glasgow ground, good morning again, EasyJet, Easy 187 Quebec, request taxi runway 23.
Easy 187 Quebec, runway 23 taxi via Kilo Alpha.
Via Kilo Alpha, taxi runway 23, Easy 187 Quebec.
Looking left and then right to make sure everything is clear, you will see that I've got progressive taxi, or taxi path as it's sometimes called, set up from Say Intentions again. I know that the serious flight simmers are going to hate me for saying this, but flight simulation for me is just a game. It's a hobby, something I thoroughly enjoy when the weather's not that conducive to going outside, which, let's face it guys, here in Scotland is rather a lot of the year. And while I enjoy this hobby very much, I don't take it that seriously. I certainly don't follow any checklists, so my videos, if you're looking for a tutorial, you're tuned in to the wrong channel, I'm afraid. Since the pandemic, a lot of new creators appeared on YouTube, including one of my favourite, the A330 driver. A man from Germany produces some really good tutorials and fantastic flight sim content. So if you're looking for something a lot more serious, his channel is probably a good bet.
Cabin crew seats for takeoff.
Copy, Captain. Cabin is secure and crew are taking seats now.
In a minute or two, the ground controller here at Glasgow will hand us over to Tower. And shortly after that, I'm going to hand over the ATC communications to the co-pilot via Say Intentions AI again. That will simply free me up to fly the aircraft and provide you with some narration to this episode.
Easy 187 Quebec, contact tower on 118.805. Have a good afternoon.
18805, Easy 187 Kilo. God, it's 187 Quebec.
Greenstone 23 Echo, pushback approved, no conflicting traffic. pushback approved, Greenstone 23 Echo.
Glasgow Tower, good morning, Easy 187 Quebec, runway 23 ready for departure.
Easy 187 Quebec, Glasgow Tower, runway 23, wind 210 at 20, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 23 cleared for takeoff. Easy 187 Quebec.
And there you go, guys, that is my very polite and posh co-pilot on today's flight from Glasgow over to Belfast. Let's get going.
Approaching runway 23.
As we climb skyward from runway 23 here in Glasgow, I should also tell you that the RAS service that's being used here is also from Sententions AI. As you've probably worked out from this video so far, Sententions AI is a lot more than just another artificial intelligent ATC service for flight simulation. It really is just like a full immersion pack. And for £14.99 a month at the time of editing this video, Sententions AI for me provides everything from the pushback truck to the full cabin crew and co-pilot immersion pack, and of course AI ATC. And I know it's just my opinion, but without a doubt AI has provided the biggest improvement to flight simulation since my Prepared 3D days. And as we continue along the Nord 1 Hotel departure out of Glasgow, it's probably time that I told you where my flight simulator journey has been since 2022. As you probably saw back in 2022, a couple of my videos did feature Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. But it wasn't until the tube liners like this Fenix Airbus A320 and of course the PMDG 737 arrived in Microsoft Flight Simulator before I switched to the new sim. And I think a lot of flight simmers like myself were pretty surprised and even shocked when Microsoft announced that they were going to Flight Simulator 2024. But now that I've been using Flightsim 2024 for nearly a year, I completely understand why they did it. And despite being told that all of the scenery and aircraft in 2020 would work in 2024, which of course it didn't stop me migrating to Flightsim 2024, but it did take me over 9 months before I moved across from 2020 to 2024. Just being able to stream the world, the digital twin as Asobo called it, brought massive improvements to graphics quality in 24. There was absolutely no way that this level of terrain detail could ever be downloaded to the average PC hard drive. And while the physics engine, I believe, got a lot better, it certainly wasn't good enough for the Real Airbus Pilot, who I don't believe is doing a lot of flight sim anymore due to his work schedule and the fact that he's still on X-Plane 11, unable to upgrade to later versions of X-Plane because his PC simply won't cope. And you might be asking, what has the Real Airbus Pilot been up to since the pandemic? Well, he was flying Airbus A330s long haul for a while, before moving to a new captain's position with a European airline flying the Airbus A321neo, mainly around Europe from the UK. I still keep in touch with him on a semi-regular basis. He sends me lots of photographs from some of the fantastic destinations around Europe that he flies to. He's therefore a very busy guy, and I don't think we'll see him back here on the Sim Sunday channel anytime soon. Right, back to today's flight. We're now well into our descent for Belfast International Airport EGAA.
Easy 187 Quebec, 15 miles from FS25. Maintain present heading. Descend altitude 2,500 feet until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 25 approach. Maintain present heading. Descend to
500 feet until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 25 approach. Easy 187 Quebec.
Those of you who've flown in or out of Belfast International Airport will know there is no SID or star. You're simply vectored, as I am today.
Easy 187 Quebec, contact Aldergrove Tower on 118.305.
Contacting Aldergrove Tower on 118.305, Easy 187 Quebec. Aldergrove Tower, Easy 187 Quebec. Good afternoon. Established on the localizer runway 25 approach.
You may have noticed some ship traffic on Belfast Lough. I've got the Seaward simulations, global shipping installed in the sim, and it provides a really excellent immersion by adding fantastic looking ships all around the world. Right, I'm going to shut up now and put this aircraft on the ground, well, hopefully.
Easy 187 Quebec, runway 25, winds 230 at 14, cleared to land.
Runway 25, cleared to land. Easy 187 Quebec.
That's us passing over the M2 motorway with the industrial park at Mollusk in the distance next to Glengormley, with Belfast Lough in the background, and of course Belfast City beyond. And of course in this direction we're looking northwest towards Antrim and Lough Neagh in the distance.
Cabin crew seats for landing.
Copy, Captain Graham. Cabin is secure and crew are taking seats for landing now.
Approaching runway 25.
500. Above. Minimum. Retard.
Easy 187 Quebec, welcome to Aldergrove. Contact ground on 121.755.
Contacting ground on 121.755, Easy 187 Quebec. Aldergrove ground, Easy 187 Quebec. Good afternoon, cleared of runway. Ready to taxi to the gate.
Easy 187 Quebec, Aldergrove ground, taxi to International Terminal Gate 25B via Bravo Lima. Good day.
An international stand for an EasyJet arriving from Glasgow into Aldergrove would not be a normal parking bay. However, it is possible that this aircraft is going to be used on an international service. So let's just go with that for now and follow the taxi and parking that has been issued by ground control here at Aldergrove.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Belfast. Did you know that Belfast is home to the famous Titanic Quarter, where the RMS Titanic was built? We ask that you remain seated with your seatbelts fastened until the aircraft has reached its final parking position and the seatbelt sign has been turned off. On behalf of your flight crew, thank you for flying with EasyJet United Kingdom. The current local time here in Belfast is 11:43 a.m. There is an upcoming connecting flight, Flight 254 to London Gatwick, departing at 1:15 p.m. from Gate 12.
Pulling up at the stand, it's time to turn on the APU bleed and turn off the two CFM engines.
personal belongings. On behalf of all of us at EasyJet United Kingdom, thank you for flying with us. Welcome to Belfast.
Golf Bravo Echo Oscar Juliet ready to taxi to the active for VFR pattern work.
And with GSX Pro now deplaning the passengers en route to the terminal here at Pyreegue Dev Co's Belfast International Airport, also known as Aldergrove, I'm going to bring this episode of Sim Sunday to a close. And if you're one of the 48 people still subscribed to the channel after no content in 3.5 years, I really do appreciate you sticking with me. I'm not sure, and therefore I'm not going to promise a lot of videos in the future, but I will try to bring you some. Of course, cataloguing my adventures as a Sunday pilot here in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. And as I stated previously, none of my videos will ever take flight simulation that seriously. But if you are interested in following my adventures here in Flight Sim, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and press the bell icon to be notified when my next video is published. Whenever that video is published, but one thing is for sure guys, it will be on a Sunday, because I am the Sunday pilot. Thanks for watching.